Hey Mechanics, today is engine day. I've got a Briggs and Stratton single cylinder engine here that I am working on because the customer complained that the engine would run perfectly fine but would not start. So it definitely had enough juice everywhere it needed to have it. The starter was really dropping the volts and the engine would turn freely. So I figured it was probably the compression, and sure enough, we pulled the plug and engine turned over perfectly fine, put the plug back in, and it would get to that compression stroke and stop. So the problem was definitely in the automatic compression release. I'll show you what that looks like over here. So this is the old camshaft without the automatic compression release. This is the new camshaft with the automatic compression release. You see that? So this one is missing it, this one has it. That little horseshoe there on the bottom is the compression release. And what that does is that when it's turning at low speeds, it will pop open the exhaust valve just a tad when it is reaching compression on compression stroke. And that allows the starter to not have to work as hard to crank the engine. And when that breaks off, you got all sorts of little metal pieces inside of here that you got to figure out how to remove. So we've got to take out the crankshaft, which is this big mama jama right here that you're looking at, and then we're going to have to take off the valve cover because these rods you see sticking down, they were held on by these tappets, and when we put brand new tappets in that came with the set, then we're going to have to readjust the valves that are up here to make sure that we've still got good clearance. So there's a lot of work still ahead. Next I'm going to pop off this rod cap so that we can get the piston free from the crankshaft, and then I've got to turn around the engine around and go to the top and take the bolts off of the flywheel and remove the flywheel and make sure we don't lose the key. So I'll have my flywheel puller out for that. And this is one of my students' favorite pieces, by the way, and yes, it does still come on this engine. It is the oil slinger, and the oil slinger on this one has a little tiny solenoid right there. And what that solenoid does is push on that little flap, which runs the governor. So the kids love seeing the little paddle wheel, as they call it. They enjoy that piece. So we'll be taking this engine pretty much all the way down, cleaning it up really good, getting all the metal shavings out of it. And as you see, oh, here we go. Here's the bottom of the engine, and here are some of the pieces that have fallen out. So all of those shiny spots that are reflecting there in my light, those are all slivers of metal, and we'll be taking those completely out of the engine, as all goes well, by flushing this out with some fresh oil. And we've got to take all of this gasket material off, which is my students' not so favorite part of engine removal during the cranking engines class. Of course, we don't work on this engine in particular, but an engine's still an engine when it comes to small engine repair, and having to scrape gaskets is one of those things. So, how's your day going, Mechanics? Are you tearing anything apart today? Tell me in the comments. Like and subscribe. Thanks.